Hey, what is up everybody? I just kind of want to do an off-the-cuff thing. Yes, I came out to my other field here, but pretty much, yeah, just off the cuff. I want to talk about Gaza, just kind of some of the crazy stuff going on. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad. I usually don't go shoot outside because of the wind, as a lot of people know. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. So hey, what is up? Thank you guys very much for checking out this video. Any support for the channel is awesome. And yes, Gaza. It kind of started, I get bored sometimes, okay? Everybody does. And sometimes when I get bored, I just like cruising around Google Earth, Google Maps. It does the same thing. But it's always been Google Earth, and I still go back to that. But just, I found a convenience store in the middle of the Saharan desert, miles, hundreds of miles from anywhere, and people were actually giving reviews on it. It was pretty funny, but anyway, it's fun to do sometimes. And I decided to go hover over Gaza and just kind of look to see if you can see anything, you know. Yeah, Gaza's pretty much gone. It's been taken down to rubble rather, and it's about to be swept away and rebuilt, literally wiped off the map. Now when you look at it on Google, part of it, mostly the whole top half of Gaza, was from December 2024. The bottom half was 23. It might have been December of 2023, but it's 2.5 years old and still pretty bad. Now the only thing that shows any signs of life are the pictures that were from 2023. Now I'm sure now that's flattened. Pretty amazing, and I don't know the word for it when you see that. Now I'm not trying to be political about it, but of course you have to kind of touch on it. I was just amazed by looking at it on Google Earth. I was like, holy shit. I mean, they leveled that place. I mean, the political side of it, is it a genocide? No, not really. They told everybody to leave. They were going to take down Gaza, not the people. If it was a genocide, they would be saying there's problems with the buildings, go fix the buildings, and then dropping a bomb on it. And, you know, they were specifically targeting people. I know for nothing's a fact, but when they first started the hardcore bombing, they were going, we're hitting the north part of Gaza, this is where Hamas is, so leave, get out of there, go down south. And there was the big caravan, there was the traffic jams. There's not even a road anymore, but there were traffic jams, you know, going to the south part of Gaza as the bombing started up there. So no, it's not a genocide. If they wanted to destroy the Gazian people, Palestine, they could have done it much more efficient and still hide it under a big pile of BS. It'd still be possible. So yeah, I don't think it's a genocide, but I do think they leveled the whole Gaza Strip. Now there's always opportunity when things are tough, and Gaza's going to be an opportunity. Trump's already in on it. BlackRock is already in on it. I remember about 1.5 years ago, BlackRock signed a contract with whomever to rebuild portions of Gaza. So Trump, being a real estate businessman in his past career, has the knowledge to make some stuff happen there as well. He's going to be in on it. People are going to make a buttload of millions of dollars. This whole thing could almost be just a dirty business thing gone wrong. You know, that's a premier little strip of land right there. And if it becomes part of Israel, that's a big deal. That's like gaining California in a way. Economically only. Nobody else wants California for any other reason other than Hollywood, that brings in a lot of money from around the world. But yeah, it is pretty messed up hearing about, you know, the food lines getting targeted and bombed. It's Hamas and Israel. Both of them are doing it, whether it's mistakes or not. Something that was kind of interesting is the hospitals still seem to be standing, even in the places that just look like a beach that used to be a city with 10-story buildings. There's still hospitals standing, basically untouched. Now, I know they were hitting hospitals. I know Hamas was hiding under hospitals, and there was that whole deal going on. True or not true, who knows? Nobody will ever know, but Hamas, pretty much. So who knows? But they were hitting hospitals, but they're about the only building standing. Nothing saying permanently closed, so they might actually be open and operating as of at least 2024, the end of last year. So yeah, it's kind of eye-opening just to see that the power and elites have gone in. I mean, October 7th is irrelevant when it comes to the scale of these. So yes, maybe it started with October 7th, but that isn't what happened. Wasn't October 7th. Yes, Israel has a right to defend themselves, and that's what they did, and that's what they're playing it under. But they have gone on, the elites around the world have made a deal and leveled Gaza, and they're going to be putting big resorts and Four Seasons and Trump palaces on it. It's really seeming like it's that way, and it seems like it was a dirty deal that unfortunately a lot of Palestinians lost their lives. Now they're just completely concentrated down by the southern border. Maybe some of them might even be going back to the north, I don't know. But yeah, Gaza has been wiped off the map. I get it why people are pissed off about it. If I had family there or anything like that, I would be pissed off too. I don't, so I'm not that pissed off, and I just have a whatever opinion to throw out here on YouTube, you know? But yeah, it is kind of messed up what happened there. What becomes of it and what the motive behind it all was, I think time will tell. The actions are going to speak louder than words, at least in the soon future, on what happens over there. I was just kind of laughing with my girlfriend saying, hey, if I wanted to go make $200K a year, I could probably get a hold of BlackRock or Halliburton or something like that, whoever's going to be doing the construction jobs over there, and just go drive a dump truck for about $200K. You know, yes, it's going to be in a war zone. Yes, there's going to be threats, real threats, roadside bombs, stuff like that. So is the pay worth it? Not really. But just kind of funny that this is what's coming. It's probably going to be protected with U.S. military and NATO troops just to make sure that nobody messes with anything, or whatever reason that they're going to be there. It isn't going to be Hamas, maybe a little bit, but there's going to be a bigger thing going on there. And the whole Gaza Strip's going to be rebuilt under Jerusalem, basically, or Tel Aviv. Yeah, it's just pretty crazy, everything that's been going on there. Now, to sit here and nitpick it day to day and say, oh, well, the IDF came in and did this, or, you know, Hamas killed some more people, whatever, I don't really care about that. Of course, I'm looking at the big picture, as always. So that's why I haven't really said a whole lot about Gaza the whole time. Because now it's starting to look like it really is. Things are starting to kind of fall into place where it's like, yeah, it's all about money. It's all about making a lot of money for the future as well. Well, for Trump and whoever's involved with that. But we all know that Trump's involved with it. He mocks about it and laughs about it. So, yeah. I don't know. It does sadden me about it. There's a lot of people that died there. Nothing near the Holocaust. Nothing near a real genocide. Millions and millions off on the numbers. So, yeah, it's a crazy thing that's going on there, and it's still going on. There's still volleys of attacks going back and forth. It's pretty crazy. It's hard to believe that there's anything left. You know, a couple Hamas guys hiding on the beach, burying themselves in sand. There's nowhere to hide. You know, there's the underground system, the tunnels and stuff like that, which is where they're probably all at. But yeah, look at Google Maps. Take a stroll over to Gaza and just look at that. And remember, places that still look like they're functional are 2023. And on a computer, on Google Maps or Google Earth, it tells you the date of the imagery. So I don't know if the phone does it or not, but maybe not. If not, check it out on the computer. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's December 2024 and something 2023, probably December 2023. But just take a look at it and then realize the bottom half of the Gaza Strip is probably exactly like the top half. Pretty mind-blowing. It really is. It really is. Most of the time the news doesn't really portray the realistic situation. For instance, you look at the Weather Channel and there's one guy standing in the only puddle in the state where the wind's blowing, saying that the whole world's coming to an end. It's kind of the same thing. It's across all media. So you can't really believe what you see when it comes to the media. You got to look into it yourself. And I was actually surprised that it's actually much worse than the media is saying. So, and I'm talking about CNN, stuff like that. They're doing their best to bring it, but they also play all the BS bullshit games of, oh, you got an ugly looking kid, let's get him on film and say that he lost his parents, and that whole thing, scandal, scam, whatever. It's always gonna happen. It's always gonna happen. But anyway, I will leave it with that. Hopefully you can hear me here. Hopefully, yeah, it's been recording, so that's good. Hopefully this will be one cut. Might have a couple cuts in there. Anyway, that's a real SHTF situation, and I wanted to bring up here at the last second, I was going to give the peace sign, but look at how they're living. Look at how they're living. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and continue here for a second because I want to bring up this, and it is a little bit relevant to Gaza. I was looking around, not Saudi Arabia, where was it? Sudan, Iran, places in the Gaza Strip back then. 2023, before it was all bombed to hell, just around the Middle East in general. And I saw a very interesting pattern from town to town, village, city, going from place to place. Everybody's backyard is a farm, and actually a lot of people grow trees in rows in their backyard. I don't really think it's for shade. It's an extremely poor area. It's probably food. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's nuts or grains or avocados or I don't know, but they are trees. But just about everybody has a farm. Now, I think most people have seen Bin Laden's compound and the way that was laid out, and they had that big square lot. That's the way everybody lives. That's their middle upper class. You have a dwelling to raise your family and you have a little piece of land. That land is going to be cultivated. It's going to grow food. If you live in such a condensed area, because there's a lot of places that are kind of like apartments, just everybody is massively packed together as tight as possible. The whole outskirt of that area is almost equal amounts of plots of land for each apartment or house or dwelling that's in that area. So if you got 100 of them in there, there's about 100 fields surrounding that area within walking distance to where you can go tend to your crops and you have your crops. Everybody in the poor areas and third world countries around this world are gardening. They're growing their own food. They're preppers. They're what we're striving to be in a weird way. They're doing it successfully, and they've been doing it for probably thousands of years. They've never gotten the advantage and privilege of having a Walmart at the end of their dirt trail. Yes, everything would change if that happened, but they're still living in their world. But you go to China, Japan, all these places that have third world areas, real third world. I'm not talking about Seattle third world, I'm talking about the real deal. You go to these third world areas, every single one of them cultivates food, grows their own food, and raises their own animals in many cases as well. Of course, a lot of places in the world you're not raising cows, they're sacred. Hinduism, I think. That's nice, a gigantic bumblebee hanging on for dear life in the wind to a flower. That was kind of funny. Could have had some Freebird playing right there. Anyway, when you're looking around these areas, I encourage you to go look around Gaza, look around Israel, look around these third world areas, especially in the Middle East, and look at how they're living. Watch YouTube videos. Go to the slums of India and look at how they live. How do they survive? How do they get through SHTF every single day. Because if we had to live like that, it's beyond SHTF according to any logical American or Western person in the Western world. Anybody in Europe or anything. You get it. Yeah, that would be the worst of the worst of the worst. But these people live in it every day. You can get a little bit better than that. There's a whole world of information out there if you go look for it. So, yeah, check that out. Look at how people live. Everybody is farming. Take a look at the Gaza Strip. It's really sad, really. I get it, it's not that big, but it's pretty devastating. And yeah, anyway, keep growing, keep raising some animals, keep prepping. I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching this video. Till then, peace.